Hello, parents and students. My name is Ted Shinta. I am the teacher for Introduction to Engineering Design. Introduction to it is a course that is open to all the students. Um, Introduction to Engineering Design is a course that's designed and deployed by Project Lead the Way, which is a national organization uh, of teachers and, or I should say, educators and industry representatives that develop this curriculum. When it started, the main thing, their goal is to bring STEM education to the high schools and to try and develop interest in students in science and especially engineering. I mean, I think when they started, there was, it's recognized as even now, we have a shortage of engineers in this country. So to try and um, uh, promote engineering to the high school students. Anyway, so what do we do in Project Lead the Way? I mean, an introduction to engineering design. We learn how. I mean, it's in the title. It's design, and so let me share my screen where it has the Project Lead the Way website. This is where we get our curriculum from in class, or what we do in class. So you could see here, this is their opening page. But over here, if you look on the left, you'll see that these are like some of the categories that we cover. So there's design and problem solving, and they have these units, but um, they're trying to teach the principles of design. Let me just go down, and then there's assembly. This is what it'll look like for the students as far as what they do, and within these you have these units with lessons. So uh, I'm going to go ahead and stop the share now. The thing about it is that so we're trying to teach the students how to think about how do you create a design and what kind of things, considerations you should have in it when you do it, when you are creating a design. Like uh, basically like any engineering project. What problem does it solve, who's it for, those type of things. So anyway, and we teach the basic engineering problem uh, and engineering problem solving algorithm that that they can apply to other things. So and then the main tool that in Introduction to Engineering Design that the students are utilizing is uh, Fusion Autodesk Fusion 360, which is a integrated CAD package that is provided for free by Autodesk, and it's a really powerful software, but easy to learn. So um, uh, I started off as a drafting teacher. My background is in actually started machining, and then uh, and then I do have my degree in mechanical engineering, but I stuck with machining until I came to the school to work. And so anyway, so I forgot where I was going with this. Anyway, so it is. I do think it's an interesting class that presents a lot of things from a different point of view than, let's say, a science or math class. Um, More of let's solve practical problems and how do we do that. So uh, and the tool again is CAD. Um, I'm sitting here behind me is our maker space, and you could see there's a bunch of 3D printers. The school has bought a bunch of Ultimaker 3 and Ultimaker S5 3D printers, and so we'll learn in CAD how to create models, and then we can actually fabricate them using 3D printing. So uh, it's actually it's really easy because of the the software nowadays is so easy to use. We're actually at school, we're using Cura to do the slicing, and then Fusion 360 actually can create the file, the STL file that's necessary for the Cura to make the 3D print. So, but anyway, the students get that connection between, I have an idea, this is what I'm going to do, create the model, and then actually go ahead and fabricate it. Actually, from going from the digital to the and virtual environment to actually having a real thing. So I think it's really interesting, a lot of fun. Anyway, as far as the basics go in the class, there's no homework assigned for Project Lead the Way, although all the materials are online, so students will have access to it at home as well as at the school. And the same thing with Autodesk Fusion 360. That the educational version is available to students, all students, and they actually have a personal version that's available to just anybody for free. And so that's pretty good too. Anyway, so there is no homework, very few tests or quizzes. At the end of the year, we have an end of the year test or end of the course test. Project Lead the Way administers it. But it's a very low stakes thing. One good thing about Introduction to Engineering, well, first of all, it fulfills the applied academics requirement at Monte Vista for graduation, but also too, a lot of colleges recognize Project Lead the Way courses, and some even give a credit, college credit for taking these Project Lead the Way courses. So there's really an advantage there. And I will also add that I'm a pretty easy grader, so I think people can, it's no problem for a student to get an A in my class. I work with the students on that. I'm flexible. If they turn in something and it has errors, I give it back to them for them to make corrections, and they can turn it in for full credit. So really, there's no reason not to get an A in Introduction to Engineering. Yeah, I guess I hope I see a lot of you sign up for Introduction to Engineering. You can contact me if you have more questions. My email is ted_shinta@fuhsd.org. That's TED_SHINTA@fuhsd.org. Okay, thanks a lot.